Good morning. It is Wednesday, January 21st. We are 90 days out from April 21st. And the DTD2 this week, you are calling your Ds and your Os, and you're texting your Ps. It is an action-packed Wednesday. All partners is happening today. But before we get to that, so many things going on. We are 9 o'clock heading into Fight Club. If you're heading to Fight Club, I had a conversation with somebody yesterday, and I completely understand. And there may or may not be a rebrand coming. All that aside, stay tuned. All that aside, it is cameras on, microphones off. We're creating a space that, at least visually, allows you to be with other people. Now, being designated agents, we can't share those conversations. And I've talked to people time and time and time again, and they've told me they don't necessarily want to be in a room with other people while they're doing their phone calls because they're concerned that people will overhear them if they're not perfect on the phone for a million different reasons. So it's just a visual marker that you're with other people who are doing what they need to do to make sure that they are creating enough conversations, enough interactions to make sure people know that they are in the business and here to serve. That's what it boils down to. So I completely appreciate when you go to Fight Club and you're like, oh, all these people are here, but nobody's talking to each other. It's just a place to go do the next right thing. So if that's what you're looking for, if you need that study hall environment, we've always protected 9 to 11 in our calendar for years. And Fight Club was just a way. This is the fourth year, by the way. This it's just a space for you to be able to go, be with other people, and more often than not, that 9 to 11 hour, I'm probably going to be in there. My camera's probably off because I'm having meetings in here with other people, staff and stuff. But I'm available. If you have a question, just shoot me a text, 603-834-2856. Hey, Timmy, I'm going to have these conversations. Or, hey, Timmy, I'm putting together a newsletter, or whatever you need. That's what we're here for. But that's what that space is for. It's really just a reminder to you, if you don't have something in your calendar for your face to do between 9 and 11, Monday through Friday, there's a study hall for you to have a safe space to just go wherever you are and be part of a collective of people that are doing the same thing, which is, it's not sexy. It's not necessarily fun every day. The challenge for all of us is to find the thing that we enjoy doing, right? Because lead generation, those two words are just like fingernails on a chalkboard for some people, and I completely appreciate that. And what if, based on our conversations and your DISC assessment and your KPA, you're like, okay, this is really the space I play in? Because you might think, oh, I know when I get into real estate, or I know this is the thing that really garners me the best results. And maybe there's something you've been avoiding because you're comfortable doing what you're doing. Or maybe there's a whole bunch of things you're avoiding because you haven't started to do yet. And that's all okay. Everyone at our company, and based on the ticker, I think we're about 542 right now. Never mind agent teams, agent staff, this staff. It's a pretty big group of us. Every one of us is responsible for competing with one thing, yesterday's version of us. That's it. And you can disagree with me. I'm here to be disagreed with, I assure you. Comparison is the thief of joy. And when we compare ourselves to others who are themselves unique, there's an impossibility that we put into structure that makes absolutely no sense. So when you see somebody taking a best practice door knocking, let's just pick on door knocking. Great day for it. Sun's out, 7 degrees. And they're doing it a certain way that's working for them. It's working for them because they're doing it their certain way. I'm not saying that you couldn't take that same practice that they've made unique to them and have it work for you. But if you do their version of door knocking, which they've taken from best practice to unique practice, and you're like, why isn't it working for me? Door knocking doesn't work for me. No, take the best practice of door knocking. Take the best practices that we teach in Ignite, in Rookie Real Estate Agent, in the Red Book, in Shift, and then figure out how to frost that cake so it makes sense for you. Then it's your unique practice. This is why I'm so annoyed by agents, and we are full of them. And I don't mean 463 necessarily, but our industry and certainly KW. I'll pick on the greater company because it's fun to pick on. Hi, Gary. He's listening. Agents that are just like, hey, come to my class. I'm going to teach you my tips and tricks. You all know how I feel about that. Tips, yes. Tricks, no. There's no tricks. They've taken a best practice, they've made it a unique practice, and now they're going to teach it to you. And I'm not saying it's wildly disingenuous. And more often than not, and you'll hear it today in all partners meeting, most agents, certainly in our ecosystem at 463, I can't really speak for the entirety of KW across the country, but a continual thread through the fabric of our company is, and other companies will be like, oh, that's so altruistic. They're all helping each other. Yeah, stupid. Of course we are. Because we all know when one of us does well, we all do well. Another one of Jill's signs in a yard helps me when I just talk to somebody who doesn't know me and didn't know my company, had never heard Keller Williams, thought it was a paint store, but then they see Jill's sign, then they see Troy's sign, then they see Erin's sign. And they're like, oh, wait a minute, right? Because the RAS got triggered. Reticular activating system. Buy red car, see red car. So it's wildly important. So whatever you're working on, whatever makes sense for you. And if you haven't found it yet, let's start to dig. Don't get to January 21st and be like, you know what? I'm going to focus on 27. It's going to be a big year for me next year. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's not often. I would usually backtrack here and be like, nope, not trying to tell you how to run your business. Just offering bet. Don't do that. That's stupid. Capital stupid. There's tons of time. There's so much opportunity. You can jump in today. Session 7 of Ignite. Capturing leads with open houses. The Sarah Nason. Fantastic talent. She's going to talk about that. Open house is one of the top 4 lead sources for the entirety of our company, based on numbers from KW coast to coast. When we talk about the core 4 in Business Planning Clinic, it's one of the top activities. And her husband, Caleb, he's going to kill me for saying his name wrong. He's taller than I am. She's shorter than I am. I'm afraid of her too, but we'll get to that later. They do a fantastic job. Join her for that class. Maybe that's the thing you do during 9 to 11 today that makes sense for you. And you take what you learned there, and then you find somebody that has a listing who needs help with an open house, and you go and shadow them. And then you take what you learned from Sarah and what you learned from the open house person that let you join them this weekend. Might not be this weekend. We're supposed to get 38,000 feet of snow, apparently. Snowmageddon's coming. My point is, between 9 and 11, you can go to Fight Club or you can go to Ignite. They're both happening today. If you have your Massachusetts license, because it's Wednesday, Mass Contracts here in Portsmouth, also on Keller TV. Alice Kabaki, our queen of culture, she will be leading that conversation. At 10 o'clock, Main Contracts, Jason Westcott We'll talk to you all about Maine contracts. That's today in Portsmouth or on Keller TV. You see a trend building here? We're in Portsmouth today. And or on Keller TV if you're home in the 11 degrees with mittens. She looks great. Tell her I said hello. 11 o'clock, New Hampshire contracts with the Tom Heaney. And then at 12 o'clock, JV steps in, the Jennifer Vashon. Our minute's into the room, and she's going to lead a conversation. We're going to talk numbers. We're not going to go super deep on the numbers because tomorrow we'll talk about numbers, and I'll get to that in just a second. But we've got the All Partners meeting today. You know the drill. Be in the room. We're going to feed you. I shouldn't say we. Collectively, yes. But you know him. You know who I'm about to praise. The Bradley Kelly. He and the Beth Kelly. Brad and Kelly and Benjamin from Movement Mortgage are going to feed you. We're going to have a great conversation about how we did in December and talk about some great growth opportunities coming up. That's 12 o'clock to 1:30. Then Brad Kelly is going to be teaching you all about reverse mortgages. That's at 1:30, right after the All Partners meeting. There's your slate for the day. There's a lot of meat on that bone. Wednesdays are always action-packed. And if you're looking at the calendar any day of the week and you're like, what do I do? Just take a breath. You chose us for, there's a million reasons you may have chosen Keller Williams. I've told this story a trillion times. I don't have a sexy story. Janine and I bought our house in Stratford. We were leaving the closing, and Nate's like, you should get your license. Because yes, I called Nate when we wanted to go house shopping because he was the person I knew and loved and trusted. And I'm like, get my license. And I only came here because I trusted him. Hated the logo. When he first told me in 2004, when he first told me he opened Keller Williams, I was like, why aren't you in real estate? Why'd you open a paint store? I said it first. That's why I love using that line. Then I looked it up online. It was a shirtless guy with no shoes playing the guitar. Also a real story. Look him up, Keller Williams. Anyway, I came here because I trusted Nate. I'm still here because I trust Nate. But when I got here and I saw God, family, business, I'm like, really? Huh. Crazy. Privately held. Not afraid to put the agent first. They coach to the agent first. They want me to run a business. They want me to leave a legacy. Because a lot of people will tell you, Keller Williams, great place to start. A lot of good training. You can get started there. So you're telling me every single one of our mega agents, every single one of our agents we celebrate tomorrow, Jimmy's Jazz Club, 6 to 10. Can't wait to see you. All of our successful agents that have been here for years are just too stupid to find the exit? Is that what you're telling me? Or have they found a place that they know that they can build their legacy? Just a thought. The next time somebody says to you, oh, you went to Keller Williams for the training, but you're going to leave later. I mean, you can. We're not locking the doors from the inside. This isn't Lean on Me. Good movie. You have no idea what I'm talking about. Ask your grandparents. I've got to go. You've got to go. I'm wildly biased about this place. It is the greatest place to build your legacy, to own your business with a foundation and a staff that will do anything for you and your clients within the parameters of the law. If we can help with anything, let us know. Look forward to seeing you all morning here today in Portsmouth or online at kellertv.com. Have a great day.